Hey guys, what up, how y'all doing on? Today we recorded our first episode of the Becoming series. We can't wait for you guys to see what we have in store for you.
It's been amazing. We had a great chat with Rebecca and we just can't wait to show you guys. So yeah, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Welcome, my name is Kaseke and this is my partner Mautsa, and we are the Becoming team. Becoming is an organization that works with women in empowering and encouraging them to become their most vibrant, most confident, most unique self. Yes, I'm so excited to be here with Rebecca. Our topic of discussion today is fiercely authentic. Yes, and I'm so excited. Hi guys.
Hello. Hi everyone. So as my partner Rumbi just spoke, we are the We Are Becoming team, and today we are having our very first session of the Becoming series. We have an exciting guest with us today. Her name is Rebecca Kanoerera. She is an MC, she is a host, she's an inspirational speaker, and she is the founder of her very own initiative and organization called Rebecca Talks.
Thank you.
Welcome. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great, and thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you for being here.
Amazing to have you here. And yeah.
So our first question of the day is, what does being fiercely authentic mean to you?
Oh, I love that question because it says fiercely authentic, not just authentic. And when it comes to being authentic, it's really about bringing your true self to the table wherever you show up. And I've been speaking to a lot of individuals about how are you showing up in any place, regardless of what you're going through. And many times what happens is that we embrace or embody the situation that we're experiencing, and that's how we end up showing up, and in the end we dim the light of who we are truly inside. So when it comes to being fiercely authentic, it's really about saying show up in your full self, in your full power, in your full talent, in your full gifting, and in your full vulnerability as well. So just being vulnerable doesn't mean that you're weak, but show up and be fierce about owning that truth about who you are. I remember personally when I was leading a team, I was going through a personal challenge, and I just inherited this team that was challenging. The targets were quite high and the team was still getting to know me. Some of them didn't like me at all. They made sure that I knew that. But I had to say, what's the office requiring of me today in this organization? The office that I occupy as a leader requires me to authentically show up as a leader. Not in my wounded state of what I'm going through on my personal space, but that fierceness of wanting to survive and saying, even though I'm going through pain, I want to survive. I don't want to die from this pain. That made me more fierce, like a lioness now, to say I'm going at it with all I've got, and I'm all in. I'm all in and I'm all present. So when it comes to meetings, reviews, audits, whatever it was, I had to now make sure my mind was mindfully present in the moment, and also managing my energy as well. So being authentically fierce as well is to say, where am I giving my energy? This does not resonate with who I am. If I'm being in a negative space, or I'm trying to do too much at the same time, I'm not being authentic. And because I've got a vision of being promoted because I'm doing well in this job, I need to be fierce about guarding the space that I'm in.
Yeah.
So when it's with my friends as well, being
Yeah.
fiercely authentic is to say to my friends, girls, I'm not doing okay. I'm not doing okay, and I need to make it. What advice can you give me today? Or I don't need advice right now. I'm authentic to this, to the truth that I don't need advice. I know exactly what I need to do, but I just need a shoulder to cry on.
Yeah.
And that's part of the journey of being authentic. And I think because many times we're told being authentic is just on the strong side. It's also on the times when you're weak. And when you're weak, you're also working on becoming strong.
Yeah.
So I think the word becoming as well as part of your series is such a powerful word. It's saying I'm weak, but I'm becoming strong. But in becoming strong, how do I build back that muscle of faith? How do I build back that muscle of restoring my faith in people? Because my heart's been broken, or someone betrayed me, someone I trusted wasn't there for me. So how do I now start leaning in to that truth of saying I'm going to be the authentic part of me says that I'm a person that stands for honesty. I stand for relationships. I stand for, so I'm going to be fierce about it even if other people don't understand me, because sometimes people,
everyone is gonna
people are going to judge you.
That's true.
And they're like, well, excuse us, we thought you were all that, and what's going on here? And you're like, I'm a hot mess right now, but I'm just give me time.
I'm gonna be fine.
I'm becoming beautiful. It's like a butterfly. I'm in that state between caterpillar and the butterfly. I'm just in that cocoon, and I don't even know what to call it myself. But I know I'm becoming. I'm birthing something out of the situation. So be authentically fierce. And I also mentioned being authentically fierce is when you're going through, when you've made a mistake. Let's say you really counted the cost. You went in for maybe a venture, or you chose to make a decision at work or at school. You choose a certain subject for a topic at a project, and it bombs out on you. And then things just go wrong. And then I would say also be authentic about why you chose that topic. Own that mistake. Because many times it's like we go into regret mode, and then we get to a point it's like I wish that part of my life never happened.
And you just want to cut it out.
You want to cut it out. You're thinking, and when people ask you, you're like, oh, tell us a bit about, then you leave parts out of your story. And then me and Ruby will say, what's up with Vanessa? She's
something that doesn't seem right. I know that.
And because we want to keep everything clean. But life is messy. It's about having a go. You trip, you fall. But I'm saying authentically fierce about owning your truth. You're in an interview. Why is there a gap between your workspace? Why weren't you working? Be authentically fierce and say, you know what? I decided to do a personal venture, and now the time is up for me to go back into corporate. That's why I'm sitting in front of you. I'm applying for this job. Or I did try to go into fashion, it didn't work out, and I realized that's not what I want to do long term, but it was great for me to have a go at it. That's fiercely owning those parts of your journey. Or you say, I didn't do my research correctly, so it did end up not working. That's why I decided to change route. Or as a manager, you might say, I chose this project and there were mistakes made and it didn't work out, but this is what I'm going to do to improve going further. These are the systems in place for maybe business controls or for audit purposes that we're going to put forward going forward. But we've learned from our lesson, etc. I'm owning my decision. I can't say, oh no, I wish I'd not made that plan. No, I made it because given the information that I had at that moment, I would have made the same decision. And talk about relationships. That guy, you fall in love with him and then he breaks your heart. Girls, you know what we're talking about.
It's like he's a mistake.
No. If we were to sit you down on that same day, if we rewind, you would have made the same choice. Because
that's so true.
Honestly, you would have made the same choice. So why live in regret? Keeping on saying, no, I wish I'd never met this person. They wasted my life. They didn't waste your lifetime. No one owes you anything. You made a decision based on what you knew then. But what lesson did you learn through it? What did you become? So fiercely be authentic and say, during that my mind's where I was at that time, that's what I made a decision for. But what I learned from that relationship was what I'm willing to compromise on and what I'm not willing to compromise on. And I wish him well, I wish myself well, and I know what to look for, next time.
And it's also like living a life unapologetically.
Thank you.
Like that's basically the definition of doing it. I'm not going to do it any other way. I'm still going to make the same mistake, and this is me accepting and acknowledging that I'm human. And I'm just like imperfectly perfect.
And not blaming other people as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. So you mentioned a few of kind of like your challenges, and I love what you said about being vulnerable and like letting your friends and your people know that, hey, listen, I'm not in a good space. I wanted to find out what specific moment or memory or emotional hurdle have you had in your past where it led to you struggling with yourself, with self-love, self-acceptance, and how you pressed past that kind of pain. Even practically, like what things or steps did you take to press past, being in a space of not loving yourself, being in a space of condemnation of
feeling like judging yourself. Wow, that's such a good question, because when I was younger, I definitely had low self-esteem issues. Going to high school, I used to think my nose was too big and my boobs were too big, and I used to just feel, that I just didn't fit in and I didn't have enough friends. So I always felt excluded out of the circle, especially like I always have this image when I was on the playground and I meet a nice friend, and then the other cool girls come and they take that friend away from me. And I wasn't part of the cool group. And it happens to all of us where we feel excluded sometimes when we want to be part of the circle, the inner circle, and feel welcomed to say, can I play with you? I think we've always had that, can I play with you? And it's still like that till we're older. Have you noticed that? Whether it's in college, whether it's at church, whether it's at the shopping mall, or whether it's just a social group, I want to be in. And thank goodness for social media. I found that it's also opened up ways for people to just kind of be in based on your vibe and what you like, and I can be in, and be welcomed into the circle. So those are one of the moments where at an early age where I really felt I wasn't worthy and I didn't feel like people actually loved me to let me in, but I based it on certain scenarios. My family loved me. My family was there for me, but just because some friends from school weren't as close with me, then I shouldn't have judged my whole life that way. So I tended to actually grow up without like a best friend, because I felt like, no one is gonna, even if I do, they're not gonna hang out. They're gonna find someone cooler and leave me. So I think a lot of us women go through that. It's not easy to make close friends. So it did affect my self-esteem to just feel like, I wasn't cool enough. And then but I overcame that through actually studying. I find that if you find a hobby or something to focus on, it'll help you grow. And then church community also was a good environment for me, because I joined the choir. I found that I could sing. Then that helped me, like, hanging out with people, so I can, sing with them. So that allowed me. So find a social group or something that people have in common with what resonates with you to help you get plugged in. And then people started affirming me, like, oh, you've got a beautiful voice, or you did so well in this project. And that would make me feel more confident, because now I felt more competent in what I was doing. And I always say, when I do vision board workshops, because vision board is really about saying, how do you envision your life? How do you envision the aspired state, that inspirational zone where you're at your best? What does that look like? And part of it was to be surrounded by good friends and to have good self-esteem. And then I would start becoming that person, and also to other people as well. And so that was at a younger age. And later on in my life, after I got married and had kids, I experienced a breakup, you know, after 17 years of marriage, just a divorce.
Shucks.
So it hurt. It hurt so bad. I won't lie to you and say, oh no, it was a breeze. It hurt. And I think any girl who's ever gone through a heartache, or any guy who's gone through a heartache, you think your eyes are gonna fall off from crying.
There's no reason to live. Like, why am I still existing?
I know
why
that
am I
all too well.
Yeah, and if I was beautiful, why would he leave me?
Yeah.
If I was beautiful, he would still be here.
If
He
I
would
was
choose
enough.
me.
It's actually not even that
not
I'm
even
beautiful
questioning.
enough.
Yeah.
It's like, if I'm enough, he wouldn't be looking somewhere else for
Yes.
anything, because I'm enough.
So imagine what that does then to self-esteem.
Yeah,
it
it
just
just kills you.
crushes you to the floor, and you're gonna have to pick yourself up. And I think there, I remember a friend of mine saying to me, "Becky, you're beautiful." I'm thinking like, I'm not beautiful. If I was, you'd still be with me. But the way I started getting back on my feet was to plug into a sister's ministry, which was just women's ministry. It would meet once a month, every Friday, and that just, I would come in the session and just cry my eyes out during the music worship session. And because I didn't know what to say, I didn't know what to do, I didn't know who I was, where I was going. But I think there, when someone around me would give me a hug, and you know, as girls, we love to hug. It just does, you know, it's just a hug. And then just being told, oh, you look good. And you're thinking like, oh, I don't feel good, but thank you for telling me I look good. You know, so those compliments that sometimes we think we're just saying, they actually do help build someone. But then it also had to come from within, when I started to make a commitment to myself. Say, Rebecca, the way you envision yourself is you're going to come out stronger than this. You're going to come out healed. You're going to be a confident woman. A confident woman, not based on what someone else says or because of who's in your life, but you're going to be confident because of whose you are and who you believe you are from within. And I promise you, when some people start saying to me, "Rick, you're such a confident woman," I'm like, oh really? You know, because now I become what I had aspired to be. But it was an intentional journey. The intentional journey where some of the tools I started applying for myself was having a vision, you know. So I created a vision board. I'd write down exactly what I wanted and expected, you know, in my life to become, whether it's in a year's time, 2 years' time. And then I would intentionally say, okay, what gaps do I have from a skills perspective? Okay, what course do I need to take? Who are the people that I need to hang around with? So intentionally designing the life that I so want to. And now it's, even though the divorce happened, I'm glad that I'm in good books with the baby daddy and the kids, and he's remarried with a beautiful daughter. And you know, but life goes on. And the thing is that I was saying to my sons, because they now ask you like, "Mom, do you have someone in your life yet?" I'm like, "No, not yet." But they were laughing. They say, "Actually, you're not even waiting for someone. They're going to catch up with you wherever you are, because you're on a journey of becoming this amazingly life-filled, joyous woman." And it's no longer about saying, okay, someone will come and make me joyous and happy and bring me happiness. It's really about, he's going to find me happy, and he's only going to just add to that. So
I love what you actually just said. And I was telling Rumi the other day, for the longest time I believed that in order to complete my picture, I needed that man. You know, not to say that I don't need a man or whatever, but I believe that having that person, that's what makes my picture complete.
Wow.
You know, and I'm only coming to realize that no. And I love the fact that your sons actually told you, no, that person's going to catch up with you where you are.
Yeah.
It's not like you must slow down, wait.
Because we thought that we had to slow down and wait for him, or
just so that
so we can just
because they'll find us too ambitious or whatever. And I think that's the fiercely authentic, where you fiercely guard your goals and your dreams and not apologize for being a successful woman. Because someone out there's a man praying, saying, "God, please give me a woman who is so fiercely ambitious, who is driven, who is just doing her thing, and can I, not me having to help her find her purpose. Can I find her like just slaying?" That's, and there's a man out there who's praying for someone like you, who's looking for a girl like you. But then here you are saying, you know, like sometimes the world, other people start saying, no, slow down, temper down, just relax.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, but I'm not doing it for anybody. It's wired within my DNA.
I love that it's wired within my DNA.
Hello.
Like,
I mean, like, we are so fearfully made to a point where it's like whatever makes you tick and whatever makes you bloom and blossom and whatever makes you what gets you up in the morning, it's wired within your DNA, and it's always asking you every morning, Anissa, when is it our turn to have a go? When are we going to do that show? When is it our turn to write that book? When is it our turn? And that thing will never let you be, because it's alive and fully awake within you, and you fully extend who you are based on who you're created to be, and fulfill your purpose on this earth based on those things, that the gifts and the talents that are within you. And I think that's where we start contradicting who we are, and we don't give the world the fullness of who we were created to be. So it's like saying, let's contribute in making this world a better place. Bring all of your gifts and talents and contribute. But when you hold back and say, no, let me hold back. Who are you holding back from? There's someone in the becoming community who needs your words of wisdom, who needs your love, who needs your smile, who needs your creativity to awaken and ignite their talents as well, so they can impact other people that you'll never get access to. And I think that's the power of being authentically fierce about with whom we are, but also the same thing, like you're saying, it's really just becoming the person that you're truly called to be. And you're always evolving, becoming bold and braver, and have bigger dreams, and you'll never stop, by the way. We're all wonders, and still to be uncovered. So let's stay in the wonder and not get jaded with life's hurts and pain, but find a way to win, no matter what.
Another thing that I like that you said was like finding the happiness within, like the joy your joy must come from within, and it mustn't be based on like how someone else feels or how everyone around you makes you feel, but it's genuinely just overflowing from within. And that for me like stood up. I feel like
oh my goodness, do you
it's
know,
so important.
it is so important. I actually, one year I said, Rebecca, we're going to forget about other people making you happy. If they happen to make you happy, that's a bonus.
Then that's great.
But are you happy with it? And I said, we're going to go on this journey, girl. Let's take this adventure. Let's go deeper and uncover what's in here. And I started to literally like journal. I started reading books. I started watching certain movies that showed people who were much stronger and happier. And I promise you, when someone would say to me like, wow, Rebecca, who's the man? I mean, like, what's happening?
Why are you glowing? Like, why are you glowing? I mean, the joy is coming from within.
I'm thinking like, oh my goodness, please introduce him to me when you meet him, because it's really, it was coming from within. People could literally see it. I was actually shocked. It was at work. One guy, he said, Rebecca, I hope you don't mind. Us guys have been talking about you. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah. I mean, you've kind of like re-emerged with this like taller walk, and you dress so feminine. And I said, no, I'm not trying to do any. I said, no, tell me. He says, no, we're actually genuinely like seeing this woman blossom, and you've got this glow. And he says, and you walk taller, and you've got this stride with you, like you're a woman on a mission, but you look so happy. Like, we're just saying, wow, whatever guy that made this woman happy
is doing the right
thing. Like,
but it's not even.
And it wasn't even a guy that unlocked that with
thank you.
You made the choice, and intentionally.
You're the one you've been waiting for.
You are
exactly.
You're the one you've been waiting for.
Yes.
Show up.
Yes.
You have to show. Because within us, it's like we have a relationship with ourselves. That's when we talk about leadership. Are you leading yourself first before you lead others? Are you loving? Because you can't give from what you don't have. You cannot give from what you don't have. So if you don't have love for yourself, then it's going to be difficult for you to love other people. Or you do love other people, but it runs empty. You're going to run on empty after a while.
Oh, okay. That's me.
Next question.
What was one of your most defining moments in your life that made you feel most authentic, that brought up the most authentic self, and what also enabled you to feel empowered in that kind of way to take it on?
I'll say, I think there's a moment, I remember it was we were coming from somewhere, and I was with my 3 sons. So my sons are quite big boys, you know, and we're walking into the kitchen, and the kitchen door is glass, and I see their reflection around me, and they're all kind of like shoulder high, you know, they're taller than me now. And I was just looking in the mirror, in the reflection. I said, oh my goodness, I'm raising giants. It was no longer my babies, you know, my boo-boos, my munchkins. It was I'm raising giants. And it was this awakening that happened within me. I just really, like, my gut just kind of like, almost like woke up. And I said, I need to rise to my post as a mother. I need to rise as a lioness and be this leader of this pack that's with me right now. And I think that for me was such a defining moment, because it made me make intentional changes in my life. At that time I was working corporate, and I literally was looking at saying, okay, you know what, it's my time to be a full-time mom. But they were not like babies, they were like much more finishing high school and everything. So let me be an intentional mom now. And then the other decision that I made was, I need to follow and pursue my calling, because the more I'm flowing in my next season of my life, then I'll be able to be available for my sons and be able to be flexible with my career as well in my time. Because the corporate life, I'd done 10 years in IT, and 10 years, and it was amazing ride. Being a working mom, I can tell you, nothing can slow you from getting the level of promotion that you want to get to. Because many times you think, okay, being a working mom, it restricts your level of growth. It doesn't. It actually doesn't. As long as you're intentional. But at that time as well, it was more time to say, you know what, I think I've outgrown this post. And my goal was to run Middle East, Africa, and Turkey position. And I'd done that. That was actually the role I was in at that time. Interestingly enough, I'd written it down.
And you got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Amazing.
And I was running IT, software, marketing role. It was just one of those things. It's like, I realized the goal. And within my inner clock, it was like, okay, time's up. You know, it was almost like, it's okay. And then when I started doing my own business, Rebecca Talks, that's where Rebecca Talks was founded. But it started being founded while working in corporate, because I was doing volunteer work, doing a lot of public engagement, speaking, radio, television interviews, and doing a lot of women in empowerment work, and being chairperson for the Women's Network Group. So it was such a cool, amazing platform. When I look back, it's like, actually, that was like all part of the journey. And now being the mom and being full-time mom, then I had to start strategizing on how I was going to run the business, etc., and taking my sons and explaining to them what my journey was, and for them not to worry and say, okay, mom is not in corporate, what's going to happen. And I think there I had to be very authentic as well. It was quite defining, because now I had to be transparent.
And especially getting older and they're watching you, they're paying so much attention. I feel like there's certain time frame where like you have so much impact on a child, because they literally paying so much attention to what is mom doing right now.
Oh my goodness. And
what is mom doing?
And what the way she moves, we're gonna take gauge on her emotional state and being. So I love that coach says that I almost gave, I'm not giving up because I looked at who's watching me. So that's one of the things that also kept me very steady on my path, because after going through a divorce and you know, you emotionally you're healing, you have to be strong for them as well. But they were watching me very closely, and I could see like, okay, mommy's okay today, we're okay. You know, if mommy's happy, we're happy. She's not okay, something is wrong. What is it? You know, and yes, young men as well, they want to fix things, but there's some things that's not for them to fix. But I needed to be a mom. And I think the other defining moment was really where I sat with them when they were a little bit younger, where I said, let's have vision for ourselves. So I said, you get your paper, Mommy's going to do well at work, okay? And then the little one was very small. I said, so she has homework too, you know, and she's going to hand in homework on time. And they're like, okay. You know, you can see they're like, okay, how do you do this thing? So I put for school, you're going to do well. And then I said, okay, for Mommy for work, she's going to do well. And we talk about for relationships, how we're going to treat each other as a family. If we're angry, we're not going to slam doors and yell at each other. So it was really one of those things where we started working on better communication. So we wrote our goals down of how we envisioned our lives, and then we started cutting out pictures and we put in our rooms. So I would know what my son was praying for and trusting God for, or what he wants to become when he grows up. So that brought us closer as well. So those were some of the things that really helped me and them along our journeys, because they could see exactly where Mom envisions her life. She envisions a grand life. She envisions a life of an empowered life, and where there's travel, where there's laughter, where there's forgiveness, where there's family, you know, fun trips, you know, so they could see like, oh my goodness, we you know, the future is bright. And so I think when it comes to anyone's journey in their life, we all need to know that our future is bright, and that's how I started living my life.
Lovely to hear. Our last question is just, what can you leave with, like, any lessons that you want to tell millennials out there, you know, just about being authentic? I think we've spoken about so many things, and I mean, through the conversation you've shared some of these lessons, but maybe the most important ones that you want us and women out there to carry with them for the rest of their lives.
I love millennials. I think they're the coolest creatures on earth.
Why, thank you.
They're free-spirited, and as a manager, I used to get, you know, a few of them in my team. And someone, you know, an older person will say, "Oh, I don't understand them." I said, "No, we need them, because number one, millennials bring this almost like this naive boldness to the table, because for them it's like, what's the big deal, you know, like, seriously, why can't we just do that? Why can't we do it this way? And you know, I'm thinking, let's just break the rules and just kind of, but the intention is to build. The intention is always to, their heart is in the right place. They're never coming from, I want you to notice me. They leverage social media. They're very good at marketing themselves. So for them, it's not bragging. It's like, you just need to know what I'm doing, okay? You know. So I think the unapologetic spirit that comes with what they do, even though the world sometimes does try to crash and kind of like make them question, like, why are you trying to be bold? Why are you being brave? And then sometimes that spirit wants to be broken by, you know, some people don't understand the nature of and how a millennial is wired. I think that's where the hurt comes in along their journey as well, where they do shrink back and say, okay, you know what, you do you, and or well, whatever. They disengage, but keep them engaged in the conversation. So number one, I would say my message to millennials is, you know what, just follow your dreams, follow your passion, because many times, like I said, the way you're wired is different from other people, and there's something in you that keeps on saying, try this out. And you know, why are you studying law instead of sciences? Why are you doing maths instead of art? It's just, sometimes you just need to be true to who you are. And but obviously with guidance, with the right support, but I think just follow the calling that's calling you. I'd say, because many times you'll find a lot of people have pursued certain roles that they were not called to do, and then they do change in their 40s and 50s, and there's nothing wrong with that. They've gleaned the right lessons along the journey, but I'd say, why not start sooner if you can? And the other thing is also, you know, when it comes to comparison, try not to compare yourself with other people, because we get caught up in the trap where I compare my chapter 1 with your chapter 15, or your chapter 15 with my chapter 25. You know, we're all in different running different races at a different pace, but choose your lane and run with it. Yours might be 100-meter race, someone else's a marathon, but we're all headed to our own destinies at the end of the day. So try not to compare. And I always laugh and I say it's like having the blender in the microwave, having an argument like, why wasn't I shaped like you? The other one is like, why don't I make noises like you? You make juices and how come, why can't? So we end up just comparing and trying to pull this apart. My nose should have been this one and that should have been, and it just, we end up becoming something that which is unrecognizable.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and it's of no use as well to the community, to your family, to relationships, and to the world. So you'd rather be fully embracing who you are created to be, the way you look, your height, your complexion. If we can also own our complexions, no matter how dark, no matter how light, no matter how blotched it might seem, and our height, our weight, our features, own all those. Those are all part of the machine that you're created to be, to operate at your optimum best and bring forth what needs to come forward. So don't compare yourself with other people, because you're just denying the world of the gifts that you have. Unfortunately, we're going to miss out on the best of who you are by you trying to be something that you're actually not. And I'd say that would be my message to the young people out there.
Thank you so much. This was an amazing chat.
It really was.
You are an inspiration to me. You really are. I admire you. I admire the way you walk. I admire the way you talk. And when I look at you and your life, I think of the affirmation, which is my favorite affirmation is, I will become everything I was called and created to be. And you're living that out. So thank you for being yourself and sharing your most authentic, fierce self with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I think this comes to the end of our interview. Thank you so much. I just wish the best for you.
Thank you.
I hope that from here that you continue to talk to girls and touch people's hearts. And people need to hear your story.
Thank you.
So thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for hosting us. Tabby's Treats.
We are so grateful.
Enjoy the cakes that I've put out for you today. This one is a dark chocolate cake, but I've added a twist to it. Like I added some coconut and rum. Just for a change. And today I think we're celebrating meringues, I guess, because they're everywhere today. So meringues is the thing. And those are lime orange cupcakes with a hint of vanilla. So enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chef Tabby.
Enjoy.